So many cuss words.
The fuck you talking about?
Okay, dude. Have it your way.
Howdy, folks. Adam back again. I thought in honor of the 200 sub, I'd do something. I'd wear something I'd never worn before. And that would be... No, it ain't the hat. I put on a collared shirt. I've never worn a collared shirt in any of my videos. 140-something videos. I've never worn a collared shirt. So... I thought I'd put the shirt on. I was just kind of goofing with the hat. I don't wear this hat that often. I wore it in the Halloween video, actually, so technically it isn't the first time I've worn the hat. But, gonna do this Q&A thing. We'll take the hat off. Gonna do this Q&A thing for y'all. I appreciate everybody who submitted questions. I appreciate everybody that subbed, even if you didn't make it over to submit questions or decided you just let other people submit them and maybe check out my responses. So, we're going to start off. I'm going to try not to butcher anybody's screen name too badly. And I'm just going to go at it. I got my batteries charged, and I'm just going to do a marathon. So here we go. First one is from Cool Ben 10 Chow. Hey, buddy. These questions were submitted to me. And 3 questions here. So we're going to get started. It says, what is your favorite video game company? Favorite video game companies, it's changed over the years, but I would have to say it's probably Capcom. With the Mega Man series back in the NES era, and all the Capcom games that came out with, the Strider, all the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers games, there's just DuckTales. There was a ton of games that they came out with Capcom that really stood out, and then of course the Resident Evil series. Yeah, it'd probably be Capcom or Konami. Those two are probably my top 2, but Capcom would probably be the number 1. So, question number 2: favorite system and game. Favorite system. It depends on what way you look at it, buddy. My favorite system, we'll say... I hate this. We'll say the Nintendo, the NES, the 8-bit NES. And favorite game would be Metroid. I guess I'm going to do that. And I base all of my choice on that, on nostalgia. I know there's a lot of other systems that I really love, but the Nintendo has so much for me as far as nostalgia goes that it wins out. So it says, third and final question would be favorite handheld system and game. I think I answered this at one point in one of my videos. I know some of these questions were probably answered over time, but it's just easier to get all the answers at once here. So I'm going to go with the Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP. I would prefer the one that's backlit versus the front-lit one. I own a front-lit one. I know the backlit ones are a little harder to get a hold of and a little more expensive. So I'm not a huge handheld guy. But my game for that would be Metroid Fusion. Would be the game. So thanks for the questions, and I'm going to move on to the next person. I hope this is going to take forever, folks. I'm hoping I can kind of move along. The 123 Kidman, thanks for submitting the question. What got you hooked on video games? What really got me hooked on video games was when I was a kid. I lived in a really small town, rural town, and there was a mom and pop restaurant, and there was also a gas station, and each of them had a couple of arcade games in it. And I remember clearly that Donkey Kong Jr. was one of the ones that they had at this mom and pop, and I remember playing it all the time. In a small town, there's not a lot to do, but at that point, I wasn't going to the arcade, and I didn't have any. The Nintendo wasn't even out at that point. I would have been like 82, something. The Atari was out, and we didn't have one. But there was this Kung Fu game. It wasn't Kung Fu. I forget the name of it. I know what it is. Let me check while we're doing this. Why not make this as long as possible? I'm going to have to check my name. Let's see what we got. It's called Yi R Kung Fu. YIE space capital AR space Kung Fu. And this game, I might as well just show you a bit of it on the MAME real quick. We'll go ahead and show it. Get this around here. List. There it is. This game right here is why I got hooked on yeah, so anyway, this game, I dumped so many quarters into that game when I was a kid at the gas station. It was either that or by Garbage Pail Kid cards. So anyway, that game, I've yet to ever beat it. I played it on the emulator quite a few times, but I've never beat it. And I watched some guy walk through it and without even getting hit on YouTube. I was shocked, blew my shit away. But that game right there and Donkey Kong Jr. Got me hooked when I was a kid. And there's another reason, but I'll leave it just in case. I think I explained it in my actual NES XS video, which is one of my third or fourth videos I ever did, why I fell in love with the Nintendo. But that might be a question on here. But thanks for the question. Next questions are from markvergeer. Hey, buddy, Mark, thanks for the questions. And the first one is... How long have you gone without A, playing video games, and B, going to a garage sale or Goodwill or gaming store? Well, what's funny is, ever since I was in high school and I just played games, once I got into my 20s, I always took my time with games. And I might even take a couple days away from a game every now and again. But right now, I'm so into collecting. And getting, these games that I played when I was a kid and collecting, that actually playing games is secondary to me in a way. I mean, I love to sit down and just chill out and not think too hard about anything and just absorb myself in a game. But if I don't play a game for a day or two, I don't freak out. So I'd say the longest I've gone without playing a game in recent memory is probably a few days. Maybe over a weekend or a holiday weekend, you might not have time to play or something. So 3 or 4 days. The longest I've ever gone has been months. When in my 20s, and I play guitar. I do play guitar. When I was really into that, I didn't play video games hardly at all for a couple months at a time. But I'd say 3 or 4 days. The second one, going to the garage sale, Goodwill, or gaming store. I might skip one day every now and again. I pretty much go to the Salvation Army family store and the other thrift store every other day, pretty much every other day. And the gaming store I go about once a week. And garage sale, I'm not a big garage sale guy. And I know you can find some great stuff in garage sales. I need to condition myself. But something about just going and shopping the garage sale and hopping out of the car and going and haggling with people. I'm just not very confrontational or that much of a go-getter. And I don't know, I feel weird getting out and going on somebody else's property and looking through their stuff. So a lot of times I don't do it, but I probably should. So
dig your style too, man. Got the whole cowboy thing going.